Hi everybody, Debra Lynn here in the studio. Hey, I got some inexpensive watercolor paper out and I thought I would just loosen up and do something whimsical and fun and quick and keeping it loose. I've got some colors down here on my palette. They're left over from something I was working on, and the colors are phthalo blue and let's see, what's this one? Imperial purple and Hanson yellow light with sap green. So I'm playing around with these colors and I'm using my palette knife and I'm just creating kind of some petals with the palette knife, as you can see. And now I'm going out and I'm kind of bleeding out the paint and letting it spread a little bit and continuing to wet the surface as I go around the paper to the edge. Getting that paper wet, but not soaking wet because this paper cannot handle a lot of water. I'm going in with that palette knife and I'm grabbing multiple colors at once and getting it all over on my palette knife and kind of creating those petals without overthinking. I'm trying to keep this as loose and whimsical as I can. And I'll just let you watch here for a little bit as I drop these pigments in. Now I'm just making sure all that background is wet. And right there, the yellow was starting to creep out. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grab some water that's sitting there and kind of control it a little bit. Now what I'm getting out here, you guys, is a Liquitex acrylic gouache, okay? Now it does dry matte, which is really cool for watercolor. It's acrylic, but I really like it. I think it works really well with the watercolor. So you can do like a mixed media. And what I like about it is it really packs a good punch of color. So what I'm using right now is the very applicator tip. You can use this container two ways. You can go straight into it, or you can keep the tip on and draw with the tip, and that's what you see me doing there. I'm just kind of like drawing with the tip. And I'm running a line of paint along the edge of the petals. And using the yellow, I'm going in, I'm kind of texturizing the middle of the flower with the yellow. And now I'm just going in with just a little bit of that pigment that's on my palette. Nothing very strong, and I'm kind of placing that on the petals here and there. And now I'm running my quill right along that edge where I dropped in that acrylic gouache. And it's waking up all that gouache and making this the petals pop. Yeah, I'm stealing a little bit of color there and dropping it in there. There'll be periods where I'm just not going to say anything, and when I'm not saying anything, I just want you guys just to watch along as I paint, and I'll drop in information as needed. So now I'm just going ahead and I'm making sure all of that outside surrounding the petals is all wet, because I'm going to start throwing in some yellow. I'll start out light and it will slowly progress with the yellow. And the one thing that I did here was I'm not going to be methodical about it, and I'm not going to make it look perfect. I just want it down on the sheet very loose. First of all, I guess what I'm doing here is I'm going in and I'm giving the petals some texture by throwing in some splatters. And I like that effect. So that's happening. Now I'm putting down that yellow, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep putting that yellow down until it's nice and bold. But like I was saying, I'm not like being really precise. I'm kind of just throwing it down. Now I'm putting more of that yellow down. Now you're going to start seeing things getting really bold and starting popping. And this acrylic, of course, it's acrylic, so it's going to be very strong. Really, really intensifies this painting. And I think this is a nice play of watercolor and acrylic gouache together. And as you can see, as I put this yellow down, my brush marks are very random. Is again going in with my palette knife and just adding some pigment where I think things need to add a little bit more punch of color. And I'm going in with the white gouache, and I'm just sprinkling some of that white around in the painting when it's wet. And together it'll just it'll mellow out a little bit in certain areas. In other areas it will not mellow out, which is fine. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to have to put this painting to the side and let it dry. And then I'm going to go in and work with some of my mixed media piece of pencils, crayons, I guess you could say. So here it is. It's all dry, except for it's a little bit muddy still in the middle. You can move the paint around. It's kind of thick. And I'm just going in with one of my Neo colors. It's kind of a brown color, and I'm just kind of giving some darker areas, just kind of playing with the center of this flower, giving it more texture look, and just popping in a little bit of crayon color here and there. Always thinking about keeping it loose. I don't want anything stiff and realistic. This is very abstract. And now I've got a little blue Neo color going down. These Neo colors too, if you were to get them wet, they do they are water soluble. And now I'm going in with some brown, putting in some shadows, trying to create just a little bit of dimension in the center. And I'm going to add some black here. There we go. There's the black. I'm just going to throw just a little bit of black in. Not much, just a little bit. And some white. And now I decide to grab some of my Posca pens. And I'm just going to stipple some little white spots on here, just to add a little highlight. And do a little drawing, just a little scribble on the petals. Just keep it a little bit loose and abstract. And basically that is going to be that's the painting, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a little bit different, getting a little bit more mixed media happening here. In the meantime, be safe, be well, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye for now.